There I go again, constantly wondering if I've actually turned the camera on. You have no idea how often I do that. So welcome back, one and all. It's a new year. It's a beautiful year. I'm sure we're a little ways into the year now by the time you're getting this on YouTube, but yeah, it's the new year for me. It's still, I think, 4 days in. So you may have noticed in the last video, my little exit spiel, my outro, whatever you call it. It was pretty short. I was sick. All right, I was very eager to get that insulation up. I wanted the place to be a little more efficient. I was tired of all the heat loss and going through all the propane like crazy, even at the low setting I had it at. So I got it done, got out. But man, I was sick, and yeah, I kind of rang that into the new year. But feeling better now. Had a great time off. Enjoyed lots of time with the family. We went out to Ohio. Had a family reunion out there, and then with the wife's family here in Michigan. Everything went great. Had a great time, had a blast. The kids got a bunch of stuff that is waiting for a house. So I better hurry up with that. So that's why we're here, and because I didn't do it in the last video, I'm going to go ahead and show you now. This is what we're up to. So the insulation is looking good. So you'll notice here, I peel the paper back a little bit. I think I got to peel a little bit more off that one and a couple others. So the rule is, and I should probably double check and see what it's actually supposed to be at. But you're supposed to take the paper off within a certain proximity of lights. I accidentally did it for a smoke alarm, not a big deal. But the reason being is leaving the paper on can be considered a fire hazard. I don't know that there's really too many incidences of that actually happening, but that's the rules, the recommendations, whatever it is. I haven't really dealt that much with insulation with the craft paper. I'm used to putting the bare bats on and poly over top. So doing this in Michigan, I have to get used to different standards basically. So this is how they do things here. Now that being said, I don't know if it's just a recommendation, just a rule. I just know that's what everybody does on site. I go through a lot of houses, a lot of projects, and it's just done everywhere. And I notice the insulators, when they do it, they're very generous with how much paper they peel off. So I'm going to double check that before I call the inspector back. But bottom line, I just got a little bit of buttoning up to do. I got this over here. I decided I think I want to throw a can in there. I'm not going to do drop pucks. I was just undecided what I was going to do there. I'm not going to do a box just because if we have a cabinet right about here, the door opens. You don't want anything protruding the ceiling because we are planning to get full height cabinets in here. And if we have full height cabinets, anything we have protruding out the ceiling is going to hit that. And over here, I'm thinking I'm going to do a can as well. But I'm going to talk to Zana. I might put a box in there instead. Just because a nice shallow dome light, or something a little decorative, maybe even a pendant, that would be cool. I didn't even bring that up to her. Tell me what you think in the comments. Maybe a pendant coming down, because all we really have room for here, there's not going to be nearly enough room to do a shelf over this window. There just isn't clearance. You could do something small, or not a cabinet anyway. We could do a small shelf. But even with a small shelf, we could probably bring that light out just a little bit, have a pendant coming down, or, something a little closer to the window. You don't want it in front of the window. Or, some kind of nice little light fixture up there. That might be cool. So either way, throw it in the comments section down below, see what you think. But those two things have to be done. And over here, I got a piece of sheet metal. I got some insulation blocking it there, but behind there is the cold air returns. And I didn't insulate this wall, you'll notice. It's just not going to do that much good. I got the cold air return right where it really matters. I might throw a couple bats in right there and there, or where I can, just to deafen the noise I can. But I have to leave these open because that's my cold air. So I have to do, I forget what it's called exactly, but it's basically the cutout for the drywall in here, and the inspector does want to see that. So I'm going to get that in. And once I get that in, I am officially ready to call in an inspection to do drywall. Obviously, there's other things to do. I didn't do the gas line. But that can actually get done at final, because none of that's going to be exposed. All of it's going to be, I said that wrong. None of it's going to be covered. All of it's going to be exposed. So it's okay if I leave that until my final inspection. And I'll just bring it up to the inspector that that's the plan, that he's only going to have one more callback after this. It's going to be everything inspected all together. So for HVAC, I'm actually going to be going for rough in and final in a single pass. And that's quite fine. So, with that said, let's get this cleaned up and move on. So, I guess you missed it. I took these off prior to starting the holidays. This is how I protected the vents. Well, during the process, I have not stopped finding use for these bricks. Perfect. So I'm just on site here, and I think I have a real problem. I kind of want to take them. All right, so we got a bit of a cleanup done, and I'm gonna press on here. We got these that we got to remove, and it's in our way for doing the drywall, so it's time for that to come down. So the kitchen's been laid out, everything's been decided. It really serves no purpose anymore, except I do like resting stuff on it. So I'm gonna get that taken care of and continue on getting things ready to slap the drywall on. That'll be cool. One last thing I do have to get done. I'm not going to do it just yet because I think my hand seamer is on the job site. Down here, the cold air return. I need to put something on there for, I forget what it's called, but it's really just, I don't know what you call the thing, like a rough end plate or who knows, but either way, it just indicates where you have to cut out for the cold air return and gives it a bit of a finished edge. So once I get that on, I can get the inspector in, and regardless of anything else, once we're good for drywall, I don't have to call any more inspections until we're ready for finish. We're ready to move in. And I'll save everything for then. So let's get this done, and not as always, because I don't think I've been on top of it, that's for sure. But be sure to hit those buttons. There's lots of them on the screen. I don't know what all of them do, but I know they don't hurt you. You don't get zapped or anything when you hit them. It's not like that. So go ahead and hit them. There's a like button, a share button, a subscribe button. I don't know. Just tap them all, see what happens. So let's get to it. I feel like we should be playing like Jan Arden's "I Will Remember You" or something right now. Like it's the end of an era. There I go again, constantly wondering if I've actually turned the camera on. You have no idea how often I do that.